Come on now. Yes, sir! Woo! Okay, Leorio, talk to him then. The Scarlet Eyes? What, really? That's cap. Welcome back to another Hunter x Hunter video. I know it's been quite a few weeks since I've uploaded a Hunter x Hunter video. I've explained all the difficulties that I've been having throughout my Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood reaction videos, but I know a good number of you are probably not watching that as well as the Hunter x Hunter videos. So basically, the issue is I've been having all sorts of issues with copyright with Jujutsu Kaisen and some other things, so I've been working on making sure I have everything set up exactly the way I need it to make sure I can make content and have it stay on YouTube for as long as possible. And I have heard about a few creators who have done Hunter x Hunter or have started it and had issues with it or not started with it at all because of copyright issues. So I just wanted to make sure that I'm going to be able to watch the entirety of this show and have it on YouTube without any issues. So the rest of the series is going to look a lot different than it did for the first few episodes for me, but I've been getting some good feedback about the way that I've changed things up. So hopefully everything's going to go smoothly from here on out. But I've been really excited to get back into Hunter x Hunter. The show really grabbed me at the beginning. I'm really enjoying our main characters of Gon, Leorio, and Kurapika, and the introduction of Killua has been great as well, and Hisoka, which was the other character that I did know about before watching this show. We're gonna pick right back off in the Misty Wetlands, I believe, like the second part of this massive run, which is like the first phase of the Hunter exam. Very excited to see what happens in this one. I'm gonna get straight into it. Hunter x Hunter Season 1, Episode 5. Hisoka is so sneaky. Okay, let's see what goes on here. So we're down to 368. Look at that guy, he's crazy. Look at my guy Leorio. It's an interesting looking crow of some sorts. Lots of build up here, not a lot going on. They're gonna jump Hisoka. Yeah. Look at the way Hisoka runs. Yeah, Killua's got another. Staying away from Hisoka, okay. You can sense it, man. He's doing his best. Just gotta follow the person in front of you and hope that they're doing the right thing too. Yeah. But that's a dangerous game. Uh-oh. Okay, I think these are the guys that were... Oh my god, are they all getting decapitated? Or is it an illusion? Yeah? Okay, this might be Hisoka doing something. Or some of the crazy monsters or something that are here. Oh dear. Oh my god. Okay, that'll do it. We have a dinosaur noggin luggin tortoise. Okay. It's like a dinosaur tortoise with strawberries on its shell. Yeah, this is disaster now. Everyone's going to be split up. Oh, there's heaps of them. It's like, first of all, how do we deal with this problem? Second of all, how do we catch back up? Okay, these are clearly gonna do something. Yeah, that's not looking good either. Claymore mushroom, okay! Look, they just grew mushrooms on them. It's not looking so good, man. People are getting eaten by tortoises and becoming mushrooms. Then we got butterflies? With some, like, dizzy situation aroma? How do you avoid this stuff? Is it just pure luck at this point? Or do you have to sense it, I guess, like Gon and Go can? Excuse me, like Gon and Killua can. Hypnosis butterfly, that'll do it. Yeah, I remember these three. I don't think this is him. So I think these guys are all cooked. Yeah, there we go. Oh my god! Are they all dead? Dude, this show is wild. It was the crow. This Ruse Raven. We saw this earlier. Dude, this is wild. They're not really holding back. I guess it's censored a little bit, but that's pretty wild. They all just got impaled. They just ran over something for sure. Yeah. Oh shit. What kind of frog is this? Frog in waiting. True. Okay, they're inside the frog. Okay, Leorio. Right, let's see what these guys can really do. This is what I'm here for. We haven't really seen what they can do. What do we got, Kurapika? Bait! Right in the eye, that would hurt. Nice. Simple enough. Yeah, here we go. Uh-oh. That's disgusting. Why did it do that though? It might be the way. Yeah, I actually had a feeling it was to do with this. I bet they both could have. What's that? That boy sensing something. That's Hisoka. These guys are gonna get disposed of, I think. We'll spare you. I don't think you'll hold the cards here, if you know what I'm saying. Interesting. Okay, talk to him then, Hisoka. 4 of spades. They're all gone. Okay. Gone. Done. It's that easy. I was wondering if their heads were gonna pop off, I'm not gonna lie. That sounded like a... Oh, yeah, that'll do it, that'll do it, that'll do it. It's very censored, but still quite violent. Ugh. I didn't like that noise. No. No, we're good. Is it as it seems though, Killua? I don't even think Gon is here anymore. Yeah. Did he go off somewhere by himself? Maybe he's gonna rock up to... Because he's been so concerned with Leorio and Kurapika, he's gonna help them out against Hisoka here. Nani? Kurapika knows they're outmatched. It's very tense, I'm not gonna lie. The raven and then Hisoka's hair. Very interesting. Does he respect it? Hey, yo. Get these animals out of here. His hair definitely stood up. See how it's like back here, but it stood up for a minute there. Who do we have here? Is this going to be gone? Leorio? Oh, okay. This man Leorio is really doing it. Okay, what have we got? Are we getting smashed or can we do something? I think he's going to get put down. Okay. He's a magician, illusions, everything. It's not as it seems. Here comes Gon. Uh-huh, yep, it's the fishing rod. Damn, he got him too. It's time. Oh, I'm so excited for this. Yes, sir! Boy, yeah. The fishing pole is intriguing. Huh? Alright, King Cold. Come on, Leorio. Oh my god, he got rocked. Okay. Man, Hisoka is so sneaky. Oh my god. Oh my god. Demon. Can't hit him, man. Why is Hisoka here, man? That's the question right now, isn't it? In the exam. Okay, okay. Are we being sneaky? Distraction. Okay, they're really setting the tone for Hisoka here in this episode. We might need Killua to come back in. Or Kurapika. God, yeah, he's one of those guys. He's a freak. He didn't want to kill him though, it seemed. Or Leorio. He passed. He's measuring them. What if Hisoka's an examiner? But I don't think that's the case. I think... Wait, maybe he is an examiner. Don't know who that was on the... It didn't sound like Satots, but it could have been. But considering they were talking about the second sight... Okay, the show is doing things, man. It's doing things that I like. There's clearly more to Hisoka, but he's made out to be a villain, but it looks like in this instance, he could be an examiner. And they said examiners could be anyone. What's the emphasis on Gon's breathing here? I think that really took a lot out of him. So Gon and Killua can both smell, maybe in different ways it seems, based on this. And this is what I think is the case. Yeah, that's what I think he was doing. But it did seem like he was potentially an examiner here as well. Leorio passed because he didn't run away, perhaps. But Kurapika showed good judgment, knowing he couldn't fight, maybe. Yeah. This is really cool. Okay. Oh. I love those colors. Interesting. Yes, yes, I agree. He was into it. But that's the next level for you. You gotta get to that level. Hisoka's level. Haha, now you're where you meant to be, Gon. That's what that means. Mortal fear at the hands of Hisoka. His growing curiosity. I love it. Very fitting for this world, it seems like. Wow. We're down to 148. We lost a lot in the Misty Wetlands here. That's a really cool shot, by the way. Another good episode. I'm really happy with that, and it's really giving me a lot of things to think about. What I'm discovering the more I make these kinds of videos is that one of my strengths, or rather I feel the most comfortable when there's a lot to think about and a lot to talk about. So playing off to me, I guess, from that opening scene that plays throughout every episode, just kind of showing how much there is in this world, all these crazy creatures and whatnot. We get a little glimpse of what lurks in the Misty Wetlands. I'll go through some of those names because they were pretty damn funny, I'm not gonna lie. The Noggin Luggin Tortoise, the Frog in Wait. It's really cool. It gives me a little bit of One Piece vibes. Not that I've seen a whole lot of One Piece. I've seen about 100 episodes, but just with how big the world is and the variety and the types of characters and creatures and monsters out there. But in terms of combat, from our main characters being Gon, Leorio, and Kurapika, still just a little glimpse. I really feel like it's building up kind of showing exactly how much these three are capable of at this point, because we're only seeing glimpses. You know, we've got a little glimpse here of Kurapika helping Leorio get out of the clutches of that noggin-luggin tortoise, and a brief show of what Gon can do against Hisoka as well. But a very large amount of contestants have dropped out in this section, a lot more than what dropped out in that first part in the tunnel. So there's 148 left, down from what I believe was just over 400. I think Gon, Kurapika, and Leorio were just over 400. There's a lot of crazy scenes going on in there. It looked like a lot of characters were really going through it. There were shots initially of it looked like characters getting decapitated, which I'll have to go back and look at, because it looks like that kind of transitioned into like the strawberries off the tortoise. But yeah, it quite clearly looks like through the fog that some of the contestants are getting decapitated. It is quite censored, as it was with the crow, the raven, the rusing raven, I believe it was called, imitating Satotsu's voice, leading a bunch of the contestants over a cliff to get impaled on these spikes that were waiting down there, which is pretty nuts. Like, we've seen Hisoka pretty much disintegrate a contestant's arms, but this is easily the most graphic we've been. It's very censored, it's not gory or anything, but they're really not holding back with things that are happening to these contestants. A lot of them were getting eaten pretty much by the tortoises. But I believe a big part of this segment before we get to Hisoka was kind of just showing a little bit more of the world of Hunter x Hunter, what kind of creatures, just the variety of what they can do, maybe not just in the Misty Wetlands, but in the whole world in general. And I'll keep coming back to that whole mysterious unknown thing that they keep hinting to in the intro. But lots of creative sort of designs in the names and in what all these creatures can do. And just like a lot of the characters that we've seen already, which is really exciting going forward, especially in a longer show like this, just the amount of variety we can potentially see throughout the course of the show. I did enjoy when Killua and Gon got swallowed up by the frog in waiting, that as soon as it started throwing them up, I was pretty sure it was going to have something to do with, you know, just how much Killua was enjoying the juice. And I thought it was to do with just how much Killua had in his system or something that the frog spat it out, but Killua still had a can on him, I imagine, with some of it in it. That's what made it puke them back out. But I enjoy that Killua, there was a bit of a comparison between Killua and Gon's sense of smell. In the sense that Killua was like, I can smell, you know, that Hisoka is dangerous. I want to move up to the front of the pack to get further away from Hisoka. Like, I feel like we just need to be away from him. Like, can't you feel the tension in the air? All the while, Gon is talking about how much he is worried about Leorio and Kurapika, and eventually does leave Killua to go and help them. But later on, and I'll get back to the whole exchange with Hisoka in a minute, but Gon later on is saying, you know, how potent and unique Leorio's cologne smell is. And we've seen before, I believe in episode 1 on the ship, you could kind of smell that, you know, the storm was coming. It's like he's very in touch with nature like that. He has these very heightened senses, but Killua seems to have the same sort of thing, but just to a different degree. Like, he can sense different things. So I think that means they'll be a very good duo going forward. They can kind of maybe account for each other's weaknesses or to sense things that the other can't. But then we really get a good insight into how strong Hisoka is, and just where on the scale our main characters are in terms of how strong they are. So Hisoka right now, like, he is the benchmark in terms of power, right? He easily dealt with the contestants that were surrounding him, and they believed they'd all failed, so they were going to play the examiner, make sure Hisoka can't be a hunter. And then Hisoka goes, I'll be the examiner, I'm going to take you all out. It's very easy for him to do with his the 4 of spades, I believe he had. Very light work. I'd really like to see going forward if, you know, maybe the card that he chooses is relevant to what kind of attack he uses or how strong it is. I think that would be a really cool thing to do, considering they're playing off this whole magician sort of illusionist theme for Hisoka here. But Kurapika and Leorio witnessed that, and Kurapika, being a very good judge of the situation and just showing good judgment in general throughout the show thus far, says, all right, we need to run off in separate directions. We cannot, like, we have no chance against Hisoka. Hisoka is a much more seasoned fighter and is stronger in physical combat than we are. We have no chance. Hisoka acknowledges that, says, good decision. And I need to draw attention to the lead up to Kurapika and Leorio, like, splitting off. There was quite a build-up. It was very tense. So Hisoka's pulled a card out And as he's pulled it up, before he's revealed which card it was, it flashes to a bunch of birds flying away, and we see Hisoka's hair starting to stand up a little bit, and you can see Hisoka's hair kind of tends to sit like down and to the back, seemingly in its natural state, but it was definitely moving. It was starting to spike, like he was going to do something really cool, right? Like something big was about to happen. I could be reading into this hair thing too much. I'll put a couple of different shots on the screen here just for some comparison. Because immediately after they split off, you can see his hair is still spiked, and then it cuts back, and it's definitely down and to the back. Maybe it was just a camera angle thing, maybe not, but there was definitely some emphasis on that, so we'll keep an eye out on that going forward. And then a silhouette appears, and I thought it was Gon, because at this point we've noticed that Gon has separated from Killua, presumably to go after Leorio and Kurapika, because he was so worried about them, very on character for Gon. And I'm like, I'm assuming it's Gon, but it didn't quite look like him. But no, it was Leorio who has come out and said, it's just not in my character to run away. Like, he's like, this is not my fight, but I'm just not going to run away, which I believe is kind of playing off his whole turnaround last episode, you know, where he decided not to give up and just keep running, which I'm really here for. I really like it for Leorio, but there seems to be some development that does need to happen with Leorio in terms of how he approaches these fights. He does rush in head on, seemingly like he already knows he has no chance, but it's more about for him, you know, not running away and standing it and trying anyway. So he runs in, and Hisoka starts to show off, you know, just exactly what he can do. Like it could be like some sort of teleportation. I believe it's probably more to do with like illusions and whatnot. He's clearly got some magic about him. He's got that magician vibe. Hisoka the magician. It happened with Gon as well. They went to strike him, and he would disappear and reappear somewhere else. Maybe some smoke and mirror shenanigans. But right before Leorio is about to get hit, you know, Gon does come in with the fishing pole and does land a blow on Hisoka, who clearly didn't see it coming. But in the coming exchange, when everything was right in front of him, Hisoka was very easily able to dodge pretty much everything, until Gon did trick him a little bit with his fishing pole. He hit the ground in front of him, you know, caused a little explosion of dirt, and then came up behind him. And just the way that Hisoka is kind of jumping around like he's right behind Gon. Gon steps back, but then Hisoka's right behind him again, is really showing just Hisoka's in a league of his own. And when Gon does reappear behind him after almost tricking him, and Hisoka grabs him around the throat, that's when you really start to see, okay, there's a very big power gap between Hisoka and at least Gon, Kurapika, and Leorio. We're yet to really see what Killua can do. But throughout the exchange, Hisoka is consistently impressed with the three of them, from Kurapika's good judgment to not fight, to Leorio's determination to stay and fight even though it's not his fight. I think Hisoka says something like, I enjoyed the look on your face, and then through Gon's ability to fight as well and come in and try and save his friends. But right before it seems like Gon's about to slip away, Hisoka realizes that, stops choking him out, mentions that, you know, he definitely did not kill Leorio, and like, I'm not going to kill you either, like you have a lot of potential as hunters. And it's when he says you pass, my initial reaction was pretty much exactly how Kurapika described the situation to Gon. Like, maybe he's just kind of measuring how you are compared to him. Can you potentially be good hunters? Like, yes, you guys have potential, I'm going to let you go on. Like, I could easily stop you here like I have all these other contestants, but you guys are showing potential, I'm going to let you go on. But it's not until he pulls out, you know, that device or whatnot, and the voice says, look, it's time to come back. We're almost at the second phase of the exam. And then I'm like, damn, maybe he really could be an examiner, because I'm pretty sure, keep in mind, it's been a few weeks since I've watched the last episode, or even episode 3, they might have mentioned it, but examiners are like always different. The exams are always different, and the examiners can be literally anyone, I believe. I could be wrong about that, but that detail did just jump into my mind. But they're clearly building Hisoka up to be some sort of a villain, right? Like in some sort of bad light. But that was really interesting, that he could potentially be an examiner here. Or perhaps he's working with some other sort of people, and that's who he's communicating with here, and they're trying to do something crazy, to do with the exams. But this is the stuff I like. It's making you ask questions. You're really uncertain. You have to use all the information that's given to you to try and figure out what's going on, and it will be explained later. So I really like where we're at right now. And Hisoka does pick up Leorio and seemingly takes him back to the end of the first sight, and looks like we're about to move on to the second phase of the Hunter exam. And I really enjoy Kurapika's take on the situation with Hisoka, saying that perhaps Gon and Hisoka are kindred spirits, and that Hisoka could sense that. highlighting the fact that clearly Hisoka has superhuman strength and a really nice technique similar to Gon. We know Gon has superhuman strength and heightened senses, that perhaps those individuals with special talents like this are drawn towards each other, which is very interesting to think about going forward, because I believe Kurapika is specifically just talking about Gon and Hisoka, not so much Leorio in this instance. But very interesting, kind of highlighting that, that's where Gon needs to go. That's at least the first stepping stone, or perhaps it could be much later on, like Hisoka could end up being like a final boss kind of situation. But that is at the very least where Gon needs to get if he wants to become the hunter that he wants to be, right? And I love that the narrator highlights at the end, this is the first time that Gon has experienced mortal fear, like he really is actually in danger here. There was lots of emphasis on how hard he was breathing after his encounter with this Hisoka when Kurapika found him, and that's reinforced here through the narrator, and then through Gon also saying, look, I was really scared and I wanted to run away, but at the same time I was really excited. It seems like it's in his blood, right? His father was a massive hunter like this. So Gon now for the first time being put in a life-threatening situation, and he was excited by it. Like he was thrilled by it, and he's gonna want more after this, I'm sure. It was really cool, really building up the character that we're kind of expecting Gon to become. But I think that's it for episode 5 here. A lot more to talk about, which I really enjoy. I love shows that I can just sit down and talk about. It looks like they're spending a lot of time really building up the characters, how they react in certain situations, what their values are and whatnot, which is really cool. Like I've said, especially in a longer show like this. I'm still really enjoying the pacing. There was a lot of build up at the start of this episode, a lot of scenes of just showing off the misty wetlands and just contestants running across, like lots of build up, not a lot happening, but then it really got into it at the end. So I really enjoyed that pacing. But that's going to do it for this one. Really happy to be finally back watching Hunter x Hunter. I'm really hoping to stay consistent with the uploads for this show as well, because it is quite a long one. But if you enjoyed, please feel free to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this and other shows as well. And as always, please feel free to leave comments and feedback down below. I always appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next episode of Hunter x Hunter.